You know, getting older comes with a lot of wisdom. You've lived through decades of change, experience, love, loss, and learning. But even with all that wisdom, there's something many people never see coming: the slow, quiet weakening of their muscles. Even if they're still active, eating decent meals, and trying to stay healthy. It starts with simple things. Maybe your grip feels a little weaker when opening a jar. Maybe walking up a flight of stairs leaves you more tired than it used to. Maybe your legs don't feel as steady, and your balance just isn't what it once was. That's not laziness or old age catching up with you. That's something far more serious, something called sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. And while it's common, it's not harmless. It's one of the leading causes of weakness, loss of mobility, and even falls in older adults. In fact, research shows that people over 60 may lose up to 3 to 8% of their muscle mass every decade, and that number accelerates after 70. But here's what too many people don't realize. You can fight back. And one of the most unexpected tools in your toolkit? Cheese. Yes, the right types of cheese, eaten in the right amounts, can help rebuild lost muscle and protect your strength as you age. Not every cheese qualifies, but today we're going to show you 3 specific types that are backed by real science and ideal for adults in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. We're not talking about fads or miracle cures, just real, nutrient-dense foods that nourish your body with what it needs most. Let's begin. 1. Parmesan cheese, the muscle booster in disguise. Parmesan might bring to mind pasta night or Italian dinners, but let's go deeper. Parmesan is a hard-aged cheese made primarily from cow's milk, and it has some incredible nutritional benefits that make it a top-tier food for anyone concerned about muscle loss. Just 1 ounce of Parmesan cheese contains about 10 grams of protein, over 300 milligrams of calcium, a rich dose of leucine, an amino acid essential for muscle repair. High bioavailability, meaning your body absorbs it efficiently. Very low lactose, which makes it easier on digestion, especially in older adults. Now let's focus on leucine for a moment. Leucine is a branched-chain amino acid, BCAA, that plays a direct role in activating a process called muscle protein synthesis. In simple terms, it tells your body, start building muscle now. And here's the important part. As we age, our muscles become less responsive to the normal levels of protein we eat. This means that older adults need more leucine and more total protein to trigger the same level of muscle growth they could in their 20s or 30s. In a 2016 review published in Nutrients, researchers emphasized that adults over 60 need around 2.5 grams of leucine per meal to stimulate muscle protein synthesis, and Parmesan is one of the richest natural sources of it. Now, what about sodium? Yes, Parmesan is salty, around 450 milliliters of sodium per ounce. So if you have high blood pressure or kidney concerns, you should use it in moderation and balance it with potassium-rich foods like leafy greens, avocados, or bananas. But here's the trick. Parmesan has such a strong flavor that you only need a small amount to add richness to a meal. A sprinkle on soup, roasted vegetables, or even eggs gives you flavor and nutrition without overdoing it. So instead of looking at cheese as a guilty pleasure, think of Parmesan as a muscle-supporting supplement that just happens to taste amazing. 2. Cottage cheese, a secret weapon for overnight muscle recovery. Let's move on to something softer and equally powerful. Cottage cheese has been a staple in bodybuilding and senior nutrition for decades, but it deserves a much closer look, especially for adults over 60. Here's why. Cottage cheese is one of the best sources of casein, protein, a slow-digesting, high-quality protein that's perfect for muscle maintenance and repair. Let's say you eat a serving of cottage cheese at night. That protein slowly releases into your bloodstream over several hours, keeping your muscles nourished, even while you sleep. Why does this matter? According to a clinical study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Older adults who consumed protein before bed, particularly casein-rich protein, experienced significantly more muscle growth and strength over time than those who didn't. It's like giving your muscles a gentle, extended refueling session every night. A single half cup of cottage cheese, about 100 grams, contains 13 to 14 grams of protein, very low sugar and carbs, especially if you get the unsweetened kind, calcium, phosphorus, and B12, all crucial for bones, nerves, and metabolism. Little to no lactose, especially in dry curd varieties. Another benefit? It's easy to chew and swallow, making it ideal for older adults who may have dental issues or difficulty with tougher meats. And for those watching fat intake, you can choose between low-fat or full-fat versions. However, studies show that full-fat dairy products may actually support better heart health in older adults when consumed in moderate amounts, especially when replacing processed foods or sugary snacks. What's the best time to eat it? Try having a small bowl of cottage cheese about an hour before bed. Add in some berries or a few chopped walnuts for antioxidants and healthy fats. This simple habit, which costs less than $1 a day, can help preserve your strength, protect your independence, and support overnight recovery. 3. Swiss cheese. Balanced nutrition for bones and muscles. Swiss cheese might not be flashy, but don't overlook it. It offers a well-rounded package of nutrients that directly support healthy aging. Made through a natural fermentation process, Swiss cheese is known for its nutty flavor, its signature holes, and most importantly, its digestibility. It's naturally low in lactose, which makes it easier for many older adults to digest without bloating or gas. But here's where it gets interesting. Swiss cheese is one of the few cheeses that contains small but meaningful amounts of vitamin K2, a nutrient most people have never heard of, but one that's vital for aging bones and arteries. Vitamin K2 helps direct calcium into your bones and teeth, and away from soft tissues like your arteries and kidneys. This reduces the risk of arterial calcification, which is a contributor to heart disease, especially in older men. Study published in the journal Thrombosis and Hemostasis found that higher vitamin K2 intake was associated with significantly reduced risk of cardiovascular disease in older adults, even when calcium intake was high. Swiss cheese also contains 8 grams of protein per ounce. Zinc, important for immunity and testosterone levels. Phosphorus, supports bone mineralization. Vitamin A helps with vision, skin, and immune health. Small amounts of CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, with potential anti-inflammatory effects. In simple terms, Swiss cheese is a high-protein, bone-supporting, heart-conscious food that can be enjoyed without the heaviness of processed or artificial cheeses. For best results, pair Swiss cheese with whole-grain toast, or melt it into steamed vegetables or scrambled eggs. The combination of protein and healthy fats will keep you full, satisfied, and energized without blood sugar crashes. So, how much cheese is healthy? Like any rich food, cheese should be enjoyed in moderation. Not because it's bad, but because it's dense. Most nutrition experts recommend 1 to 2 ounces per serving, and limiting it to once or twice per day as part of a balanced whole food diet. If you're pairing it with plenty of vegetables, fruits, clean protein, and staying active, these cheeses can actually be part of a highly effective muscle-preserving diet. A quick note on protein and sarcopenia. While cheese is a wonderful source of protein, it's only one part of the bigger picture. If you're over 60, your daily protein needs are higher than most people realize. The latest research suggests older adults should aim for at least 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So if you weigh 70 kilo, about 154 pounds, you'd need around 85 to 105 grams of protein per day, and ideally spread out across your meals. Why does this matter? Because if your body doesn't get enough protein consistently, it begins breaking down muscle faster than it can rebuild it. And that's when weakness, frailty, and even falls begin to creep in. So cheese isn't a miracle cure, but it's a powerful ally when used. alongside resistance exercise, hydration, and high-protein meals. Final thoughts. You don't have to eat like a bodybuilder. You don't need fancy powders or expensive supplements. Sometimes the most powerful solutions are the simplest and the most familiar. By adding Parmesan, cottage cheese, and Swiss cheese to your routine, you're not just enjoying good food. You're making a scientific, strategic choice to support your independence, your movement, and your quality of life for years to come. Because you still deserve to feel strong. You still deserve to feel capable. And it's never too late to start giving your body what it needs to keep fighting. If this video gave you new insight or helped you think differently about your health, please like, subscribe, and consider sharing it with a friend or family member who's walking this same path. And tell us in the comments, which of these cheeses do you already eat? Or what's your favorite way to use them in your meals? Your story might help someone else feel seen and inspired. Stay strong, stay kind to yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.